السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على الأشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا نبينا وقرة أعيننا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Very, very warm welcome to this week's live Sunday Q&A. Alhamdulillah. I am actually on a retreat with some business friends of mine, and we're doing a business mastery program. Alhamdulillah. It's been intense. It's been eye-opening. And I can't wait to share a lot of these learnings with you guys. We're learning from a guy who's got 114 businesses. The key always is to make sure you keep learning yourself. There is no end to how much you can develop. And the more you learn, the more you earn. It's very, very simple. The more you learn, the more you will earn. Alhamdulillah. What you guys think about my new glasses? I'm not too sure actually. New look. Let me know what you think. I would love a little bit of feedback. Alhamdulillah. Right, guys, we're here live to take any questions. Okay, any questions that you have that I can help you with. Any business questions? MashaAllah, we've got people joining from all over the world, subhanallah. Philippines, India, UK. How do you find the correct supplier contracts? So this is a question from Q Harif on Instagram. How do you find the correct supplier contacts? There's a couple of things you can do. And by the way, you always have to test people out, whether it's suppliers, whether it's contractors, whether it's a plumber. You need to start the relationship small and then see how it goes. Is this person worth doing business with? Test it, okay? Now, the first thing I would do is obviously look online. Look online for suppliers, number one. Number two, I would ask people in my network if anybody knows of good suppliers for a particular product. In today's day and age, it's so much easier to find suppliers to work with, to find manufacturers to work with, to find wholesalers to work with, because we have the internet. We have the internet. Imagine if we didn't. Imagine a world without internet. Where would you even start? Subhanallah. Okay, mashallah. We have someone's asking, I want to know about manifestation tricks about vision. Is it real or permissible in Islam? Can you elaborate a little bit more what you mean by that? Because visualizing something in your mind or in your dua, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Visualizing something. But to believe that manifestation is what will give you the result, that is very problematic, because we know that results only come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not about writing them down, manifesting. So your belief must be very, very on point, that everything comes from Allah. It's not this writing or me saying it out loud. That's not what's going to bring it. It comes from Allah. However, visualizing something that you want in your mind, writing down your goals, having affirmations every morning that Allah will give me. Allah will give me what I'm asking for. Allah is the most powerful. Allah is the most giving. Allah is the most generous. These kind of affirmations can actually be quite powerful, inshallah. So you have to be very, very careful when it comes down to this thing of manifestation and law of attraction. We have to be very, very careful. But if used properly, can be very powerful as well, mashallah. Let me have a quick look on TikTok. Where do you market your properties for rent, targeting corporate professionals? Well, first and foremost, the properties themselves for corporate professionals. The property themselves need to be suitable for corporate professionals. They need to be in a good location. They need to be nice. We have the nicest rooms, premium rooms. That's why corporate professionals call us when they see the advert. We primarily market our premium rooms, not primarily, exclusively market them on spareroom.co.uk. And Brother Akib Hussein is asking on TikTok, I'm a father of 4 and I want to get into the online world, never had any experience. I'm currently working an engineering job, but struggling to make ends meet. May Allah bless you and give you ease in your affairs and inshallah open the doors to. I was listening to a talk yesterday from a 27-year-old who's worth 56 million pounds. And he was like, the internet and the digital world is the biggest opportunity in history for anyone to make an income. If you really think about it, subhanAllah, look, I'm sitting here in a house in Leicester. It's an Airbnb, and I'm speaking to you guys across the whole world. Subhanallah, we are making connections that I would not have been able to do had the internet not been. Feel free to come, bro. No worries, no worries, no worries. Had the internet not been available to us today. So as someone with very little experience as a father of 4, my advice to you would be, first and foremost, start researching what are the different ways of actually making an income online. Find and make an extensive list. If you want, even ask ChatGPT. Then from that list, I want you to pick five ways which you think you can do, inshallah, which you will be able to do, inshallah, because they don't require any advanced skills. They don't require a huge amount of capital. And you can see how that can grow into a long-term income. Then from the 5, I'd like you to then pick one and try it. If that doesn't go well, then pick the next one and try it. Do it for at least 6 months. If that doesn't go well, then do the next one for 6 months. If that doesn't go well, then do the next one for 6 months. So this entire process will take you well over a year. But guess what? That's what it takes. You're not going to make money from day one. It takes years to establish an income stream. So please don't be fooled by the belief that it's going to happen straight away. Okay, mashallah. Let me have a quick look on YouTube. What have we got on YouTube? Mashallah, quite a few on YouTube. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah bless you for your efforts. Thank you very much, my brother. This is a comment on YouTube. I started an Islamic essentials store selling thobes, abayas, and prayer rugs last year in November. What advice can you give me to grow my business? Okay, if you want to grow your business, there's really two things that you can do. Number one, have more customers. Number two, sell more things to the customers you already have. But before that, even, we need to think about who is going to buy robes, abayas, and prayer rugs. Who's going to buy them, and how are you going to attract this customer to your store? So that is something you think about. Now, it goes fundamentally deeper than that, because there's so many people selling thobes, abayas, and prayer rugs. Why would someone buy it from you? What's different or special about yours? How are you going to compete with the big names and the established businesses in people's local cities? So you need to, as a business plan, need to have some kind of strategy. How am I going to stand out and give more value to my clients to be able to get that business? For example, I have seen some new brands of thobes, and they focus very heavily on social media. They do really nice content videos. They come live on Instagram every day. They're doing things that the competitors are not doing. They're focusing on something that will give them an advantage. They found their competitive edge. What's your competitive edge? You need to think about that. And if you can't find it, it will be very, very difficult to grow the business. If we start a physical, this is social anxiety and beyond. Oh boy, what a name. If we start a physical product business, should we expect to make a loss at the beginning, as buying in bulk seems the only way for the price to come down, but not guaranteed to sell? Yes, my brother, that is the oldest way to make a trade and make a business. Even the Sahaba would travel to an area, buy lots of goods with no guarantee to sell, and then bring them back to maybe Medina or Mecca and sell them there for a profit. This is how people have traded for thousands of years. There's no guarantee that you would sell. However, I wouldn't buy products in bulk if I didn't know that I can sell them, if I didn't know that there was a demand for it. It'll be too much of a risk. So I want to establish the demand first. I want to establish the demand first. I want to know that the product I'm getting is high demand, not a lot of supply. I know where to sell it, how to sell it, who to sell it to. Then I would go and buy it in bulk. I wouldn't just do it hoping, with hope and no actual preparation. Whoever's watching on LinkedIn, and struggling to post questions, you can join me on YouTube, you can join me on Instagram, you can join me on TikTok, inshallah. Question from brother Nisar on YouTube. If I have 4 months of runway as a corporate employee transitioning into freelancing and entrepreneurship, am I fooling myself, or should I just aim for another job and do something on the side? If you have a full-time job, my dear brother, and you're thinking of entrepreneurship, freelancing, and you know what you want to do, just start doing that on the side of your job. This is the most pragmatic way to transition from employment to entrepreneurship. Keep your day job and work in the evenings and in the weekends. That's how most of us have done it. I actually made the mistake of not doing it that way. I went all in and I suffered for 3 years. I suffered for 3 years for no good reason. I could have easily done it, and I've done that. My first business, I was working 9 to 5 in an investment bank as an intern. And when I finished work at 6 p.m., I would take my laptop, go to the top floor, 33rd floor with a nice view, and I would work on my business for 3 hours. And I did that for 7 weeks, every single day. If you can't do that, and if you're not willing to make that sacrifice and to put the hours in, then entrepreneurship will only ever be a dream. There's a cost to entrepreneurship. You have to put the time in, of course. And what you want to do is be able to start, let's say you mentioned freelancing. So let's say start picking up some clients, evenings and weekends, put in the work, and you want let's say this is your salary. You want your freelancing work to slowly catch up to your salary. Once it's caught up to your salary and you're making enough money from your freelancing work, part-time, the same income as a full-time job, that's when it will make no sense to stay in the job, and you want to get rid of the job and keep building on your freelancing and your entrepreneurship. That is the most pragmatic way to do it. And that is how I suggest everybody to think about transitioning. Start on something on the side. Brother Motaz, mashallah, Allahumma barik. Lots of love to you, bro. I know you watch a lot of my content and you've been very supportive of it. So may Allah bless you and allow you to benefit from all of the knowledge and implement the knowledge and reap the benefits. Your question is how to make the balance between starting a new side hustle while having a full-time job, which creates too much stress on the remaining time and makes you feel like you're going after dunya. How to balance between building the business and forgetting the akhirah. Okay. So this is something I actually struggled with for a long time, which is I want to spend more time building my business and solving my money problem, but I've also got all of these other commitments in terms of classes, in terms of dawah work, in terms of youth club for the local masjid. There was a lot of things that I was doing. And what I realized is that if for me to do more of the work that I want to do, fi sabilillah, I have to solve my money problem. Meaning I need to find a way to get the income that I need with minimal input of hours. I need to make my income as passive as possible. And what I realized that is only possible through entrepreneurship, through owning a business, not being an employee. So I realized that if I invested 2 or 3 years of my time and my life to really work hard with the good intention that I'm doing this for the ultimate objective of pleasing my Lord and being able to do more worship, have more impact, if I want to do more of that, I need to invest some time now. I need to focus now so then I can achieve freedom and independence, and then I can do all of the things that I really want to do. So I had to sacrifice some time. Now, if your intention is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to become financially independent, to do more worship, to go to Umrah more often, to be able to serve your parents, serve your community financially and with your time, don't you think that you will get reward for building your business? Don't you think you will get barakah in your business? So sometimes it is necessary. I'm not saying stop praying and stop going to the masjid. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying maybe if you're someone like me, who in the evenings, I used to have classes, I used to have gatherings, I used to have lessons. I had to stop everything for a period of a couple of years to really focus on solving my money problem. So this is an important point. So I'm going to summarize it again. First and foremost, have the right intention of why you want to have a business. You want to have a business so that you can have more flexibility, more freedom, more resources, more money for the pleasure of Allah. That I'm going to use that extra time, the extra wealth, the extra influence that I have for the pleasure of Allah. Make the intention and be firm with it. Then anything that you do to achieve that objective, inshallah, will count as ibadah. Will count as ibadah. So there doesn't need to be a clash between your business and your akhirah. In fact, your business can make you more spiritual, can make you pray tahajjud, because you're in need of help, you're in need of openings, you're in need of more clients, you're in need of an invoice coming through, you're in need of some guidance. So I hope that helps, inshallah. Okay. Gonna come to Instagram now, if that's okay. Lots of questions here, mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. Right, where are we? Okay, so right, so we have a question from Laris Couture. I watched your video about not taking debt or loans. My question is, how do I know the right percentage to give to a potential partner, especially in fashion? So when discussing percentages in a business, you must remember that there are many different things that somebody can bring to the table. So the percentage should be a reflection of how much value this person is bringing to the table. So if you are bringing the business knowledge, you have the business, you have all of the contacts, you have all of the plans, you have all of the stock, you have all of the marketing channels, and then the person is only bringing a little bit of capital, together you need to discuss what is that capital worth. Because just because they're bringing capital, it doesn't mean they deserve a huge amount of your business, right? So that is one side of it. The other side of it, you need to think from the investor's perspective, that if I invest this money, what am I getting back? And is that reasonable? Is that appealing? You can't ask somebody to invest, let's say, $10,000, and then they will make that money back in 10 years because you will give them a share of the profits, and that's going to be, I don't know, $100 a month for the next 10 years. That's not a good investment. So then the percentage would have to be a bit more. So it really depends on so many factors. But what I want you to think about is the principle of how much value is the investor bringing? Is it just the money? If it's just the money, then they don't deserve a huge amount of the business, because you're probably doing everything else. If they bring money and they bring knowledge and they bring contacts and they bring opportunity and they bring X, Y, and Z, then maybe they deserve a little bit more percentage. And also the other side of it is, you must remember that the investment has to be appealing to the investor. We have a question from a brother or maybe a sister in Nigeria, Infinite Prints. How do you manage your business and social presence, posting content consistently? It's very difficult. And the answer is that the secret is having help. Having help. You can't do it all. The answer is leverage. So even in my businesses, most of them, I am not the person running the operations. There is someone else running the operations, and that frees up my time. Number one. Number two, when it comes to actually creating content, and subhanallah, I've been creating content on my own for a while, and as of April this year, I have assembled a team. There's an entire team working on my content. And that is the only way I could guarantee consistency and quality. Consistency and quality. Now, if you're not in a position to be able to hire people in your business or hire someone to do your content, then what I would say is allocate a block of time every week. It could be an hour every Saturday or 20 minutes on 3 different days. Block the time off for you to work on the content. Work on the content. And in that hour, you want to be able to make that hour very, very effective. So you need to know, what content do I want to create that will have the most impact? Which platform are my customers at? My customers, my clients that I'm trying to reach, which platform are they on? Because if what I've realized right now is my target audience, which is Muslim business owners, they are not on LinkedIn and TikTok. So I am not focusing on those anymore. I'm focusing on YouTube and Instagram. So whatever little time I have, I focus on making the best possible content for those two platforms. That's it. And I'm going to do that consistently until I see growth in my business, and until I'm able to start maybe paying someone to help me a little bit, paying someone else to do all the editing, paying someone else to do maybe the scripting, pay someone else to do the posting, pay someone else. And sometimes you don't have to pay them. You can just get a friend, you can get a sibling, you can get a cousin to help you out. At the beginning, you need to get any help that you can get. Hamza on Instagram is asking, are HMOs or serviced accommodation better? It depends where you live. I'll give you an example. If you live in London, serviced accommodation has certain limitations. You can only rent out a property for 90 days a year. There's also a huge amount of competition. There's lots of hotels. Rents are very expensive. A lot of people like having parties. And on the other hand, in London, there's a huge amount of demand for rooms, HMO rooms. So if you live in London, I would say HMOs are better. If you live in a seaside town, I don't know, like Brighton, and maybe there isn't that much demand for HMOs or rooms, but there's a lot of demand for serviced accommodation. Every summer, things get booked up. Hotels are full. So maybe serviced accommodation might be better for you. Although the winters might be quiet, your income is not going to be sort of stable throughout the year. But a serviced accommodation might work better. If there's no demand for rooms in your city, then of course you have no choice. There's no point doing HMOs, right? So it really depends on your demand. Remember, always, rule number one of any business, make sure that what you are providing has demand, high demand, not just now, but in the future as well. If that's not the case, you will struggle. You will struggle. Whatever you're doing must have demand. Mashallah. Brother Muhammad is asking, how's the retreat? It's going really, really well, mashallah, bro. I look forward to sharing all my notes with you, inshallah. Let's see. Lots of questions on Insta. Inshallah, we'll do 5 more minutes because I live in Europe. Someone's asking, where are you from? I was born in Italy. I live in UK, London, but my ethnicity is Bangladeshi. How do you start a relationship with a corporate customer if there's a service you would like to offer? One of the best ways I would say is start offering the service for free. Obviously, I'm assuming you're really good at what you do and your service is amazing. So the best way is, hey, corporate customer, I'd love to offer you 1 month of free services. Firstly, to show you how good we are. Secondly, to get a testimonial. And thirdly, I'd love some feedback from you on how to make my product and services better. How does that sound? Would you like 1 month of free services? And the idea is just that you're so damn good that after the 1 month, the customer is now begging you, please, let's carry on. Tell me how much to pay. So it comes down to being good at what you do and making it easy to show your customer how good you are. And the best way is to do a free trial, a complimentary service for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Give them lots and lots of value. Let them know how good you are. How do you compete with massive consulting houses? The way to compete as a consultant, so I'm assuming you're doing some type of consultancy. The way to compete is to have a specialism and to be the best in the world. Simple as that. If you ask me how do I compete with a world-class athlete, you need to get good. You need to get good. And if you're not good, then customers shouldn't be coming to you anyway. It'll be a waste of their time. Customers want the best possible service and product. So to compete with a massive consulting house, you need to be world-class yourself, number one. Number two, you might want to just have a specialism. So there's a very specific thing that you are the best in the world at. You're top 1%. These consulting houses, even they can't do it to your level. So you want to become top 1% in one thing, not 11 different things. One thing. That I am the best in the world at optimizing follow-up sequences through SMS or WhatsApp for large corporates. That's it. I'm the best in the world. That's how you compete. And that's how you get rich, by the way. You become the best at one thing. The Transforming Zuber. I've been trying to reach you through DMs with no success. What's the best way to reach you? I'm really sorry. I do have someone looking over my DMs every single day. But at the moment, I'm at a retreat. I'm at a business conference myself. So until tomorrow, so it's been 4 or 5 days now. So I am a little bit behind. So just bear with me, inshallah. I will get back to you. Okay, mashallah. So I think I've cleared all of the questions on Instagram. Let's have a look on YouTube and LinkedIn real quick. Someone's asking, when are you delivering the next property masterclass? I believe that's going to be in September. Let me tell you the date. I do one masterclass every month now. I used to do two, but now I'm really busy with, mashallah, we have a lot of partners in the program. We're doing a lot of content now as well. So let's have a look real quick. I want to give you an actual date since you're asking. While I find that, let me have a look at TikTok. The next one is going to be, oh, hold on. August. Have I done one in August? 18th. Live masterclass. Oh, sorry. It's going to be 24th of August, which is this week, actually. This coming weekend. So it seems, yeah, 24th of August, inshallah. What's an example of a competitive edge in a construction business? Abs is asking on TikTok. I would recommend you read the book called Blue Ocean Strategy. Blue Ocean Strategy. It will give you a framework of how to innovate. How do you innovate? What is something that you can increase? What is something that you can decrease? And what is something that you can eliminate? So it depends on every business is different. So if I was thinking of launching a construction business, I would think about what are the things that most clients really struggle with. I think many clients, what they struggle with is maybe trust, not being able to trust that the work will be done properly, that there won't be any dishonesty, that the timelines are not going to keep getting extended, there's not going to be inflated invoices and things like that. So I would increase maybe transparency. I would be extremely transparent with my clients and customers and say, look, this is exactly what we bought. This is exactly what we paid for it. This is exactly where we got it from and when it's going to be delivered. And this is exactly my markup. That would then become my competitive edge, that everybody knows that in this city, you want an honest construction company, you go to Tanim. There's just a small example from the top of my head. Maybe you decrease something in your model, which is you decrease the length of time it takes to deliver the projects. You make it faster, like you are known to be the fastest. Or maybe you decrease something else, the price, the cost. But I wouldn't go down that route. I would go down the route of I want healthy prices. I don't want to put the pressure of speed, but the thing I would increase is maybe the transparency. Or another thing I could increase is realizing that none of my competition are doing social media content. And I would maybe leverage that you know what, I'm going to document and vlog every day. I'm going to show people what I do, how I run my business, what projects we're working on. And I'm going to slowly create a personal brand around me being a very entertaining, fun, honest, likable construction business owner. Brother Kamal Ali, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We need to connect. All right. Final question I'm going to take. Where would you invest 50K for a good ROI? It depends who you are. So if you are an entrepreneur, like I am, if I had 50K, I would look to turn that into 500K by starting a business. If you're not an entrepreneur, I would study. Okay, the question is to get a good ROI. So I'm assuming a good ROI, you're probably talking about maybe 10% a year. So for 10% a year, you might want to invest. You could possibly, obviously, in halal stocks, do your research, see what's likely to go up in the next I don't know, year, 2 years, 3 years. You can put it in a lot of halal investment opportunities that are out there right now. For me, I would put it in crypto. But because I know and understand crypto, I know what to do not to lose that money. But if I had 50K cash, I would want to put it in crypto and only take it out once it's doubled. But that's only if you know what you're doing. I've studied crypto for 2.5 years. I understand it. I know what's happening. I know what play, what to do, when to come in, when to come out. And even then, I have friends who manage crypto, so I would probably just give it to them because I'm a bit busy right now. I'm not able to stay on top of the markets all the time. But ultimately, you want to invest it in something that you understand. Okay. So the best place to invest 50K is in something that you understand, something that you know how it works, and you can see where and how that return will be generated. Tamam. So, what is the best dua for rizq? There's one dua that I used to read a lot. My teacher taught me. Allahumma akfini bihalalika an haramika wa aghnini bifadlika amman siwak. This is a beautiful, powerful dua for increasing your rizq. Allahumma akfini bihalalika an haramika wa aghnini bifadlika amman siwak. Inshallah. We'll clip this as a video and share it with everybody, inshallah. Barakallah fikum, guys. I have to run to a meeting now. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you had some value. We spoke about some really interesting stuff. You asked me some amazing questions. May Allah bless you all. And I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.